Hello and welcome to the Confusion Wrestling Podcast, the last bastion of independent wrestling. I'm Rob Kammer, and it's the holiday season. I was hoping, after this week, to kind of chillax, but we'll see what happens with that, because people are just kicking down the old inbox, wanting to get on the show, excited for the new year, but before we can celebrate the new year, we got to get through this old year. Today's episode, for me, is really, really cool. We're going to think outside the box a little bit compared to what we're used to. Having Chris McMenamin and Christian Levins on the show from the new movie, The Misfits. That is now streaming on Amazon. It was technically broken here first, ? Unfortunately, there's a handful of days in between the recording and the release of this here episode. Actually, it's closer to a week, just because, again, for those of us who celebrate the Christmas, hey, Christmas is getting in the way of everything. But it was really cool being able to sit down and talk about the movie. It has a pro wrestling slant to it, so it's on brand with the show. But yeah, it was cool talking about the making of the movie, the process of getting the distribution out there, and the fact that it just popped up on Amazon like the day prior to recording of the episode. So that being said, get this introduction out of the way. We'll get those plugs in as well, so be sure to get yourself a coffee machine, some coffee, energy drinks, all that good stuff. We'll be back un momento with The Misfits. Hey folks, the Confusion Wrestling Podcast has become a veritable hub of shopping and treats and all that sort of good stuff. Whether you need a sugar-free alternative to energy drinks in the form of Raise Energy, or maybe even, top-of-the-line ice makers, coffee machines, and other household appliances, all through my links section. All you got to do is wander down to the descriptor of this week's episode, check out the various links, click on them, and go shopping like you normally would. Heck, it's no difference. You just came in and just said Rob sent you. And that way, you can get the things you need, maybe even at a discount, and the podcast gets a kickback as well. So be sure to check out those links. Thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, the Confusion Wrestling Podcast. Super cool edition of the podcast this week. Instead of my usual just blowing smoke about how every week's special, this week we are venturing in the realm of film. We have two members of the cast and crew from the new movie, The Misfits, coming out. It's Chris McMenamin and Christian Levins. Did I pronounce everybody's names right? Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Because as a cammer with an extra syllable, it's kind of close to my heart to figure things out. But at the time of this recording, Misfits is just out on Amazon Prime. See the reviews so far are pretty good overall. Like on IMDb, it's like 9.5. I think you're at still a perfect 5 stars on the Amazon reviews. So
let's just hope it continues.
Yeah. It's only downhill from there, right? Like once you start out the perfect, hopefully you'll get enough reviews so one bad review won't tank it.
Yeah, no, there'll be a 1-star guy. Don't worry. There's always a 1-star guy.
Oh, there is. That's why, if I buy things online, I always look at the 3-star reviews because I feel those are fair and biased. This part's great, but it is also will burst into flames if you look at it too long or something.
No, and my friends, if they won't be putting it would be one of our friends. They give it a 1-star just to be a jerk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you could, we don't get the fake 5 stars. We get the fake 1 stars.
Our friends are malicious.
They are.
Well, hopefully then the film blows up and then you'll get all the Hollywood yes men in there to, artificially, plug things.
It's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
If it's any consolation, technically this podcast like gets on random charts, but if you look at reviews, there's only a handful of I'm averaging a review a year. Despite if I go online and oh, this is a #1 rated Good Pods podcast. For some odd reason, we're number 66 in Finland on the Apple charts or whatever, but no one's leaving reviews. So, and I wish I was joking about this. This is legit.
I believe it. Yeah,
I'm okay with being big in Finland.
My biggest question is just more why.
What Finnish dude's like? Oh man, yeah, that's my
I'm the
podcast.
David Hasselhoff of podcasts in Finland. All
Yeah.
right, rock and roll.
My team and I just finally determined it's evidently the Finns hate the one called Manders. That's the only thing we can think of. So there's plenty of Manders slander on this podcast, even if we have to shoehorn it in like we did today.
I'm here for it.
There we go. But yeah, so like it seems to be doing well. Like all joking aside, and like I'm pulling up the thing now. You like what you got? What like 5 awards, 7 nominations for the film as well.
Yeah, we've gotten really, and I'll be honest, I didn't expect film festivals to go that well because we're not really in any one genre. So all you can ever do when you're a multi-genre film is compete in like the best of like the whole festival, and I guess people like it. I think being so close to it, I'm like, I don't know if anyone will like it.
No, that's,
It's your ugly baby.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. But yeah, no, it's done really well in the festival circuit so far. We have many more that we are in consideration for, so that would be cool.
I guess we kind of just jumped into things, but I guess talking about the film, I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't have you guys kind of give a synopsis of what the film's about, so we know to actually go to Amazon and know what we're getting into in theory.
Yeah, so it's a drama with some comedy and some wrestling. Hence, we're on brand here. It is a widowed father who is dealing with grief with family and his kids and his lifelong best friends all kind of come together, and we call it a full house moment. And throughout the film, things kind of just like sometimes life does, gets progressively worse, both financially and mental health wise. And his friends and him sign up for a holiday wrestling match that ends up being no holds bar. And they kind of have to come together to overcome both, the grief of losing a friend and a spouse, as well as maybe save the house.
And so, like, I have to ask, why wrestling? There's a whole lot of ways to hilariously earn money, a la Three Stooges. What made professional wrestling kind of stand out?
I think I'll be honest, I think what got me was one, I watched a lot of wrestling as a kid. But there's something, I don't know, romantic about the fight, whether it's a Rocky or, whatever it might be.
It's an underdog story. So
Yeah, the underdog story, and we're Philly kids, so I mean, Rocky's kind of been drilled into us since birth.
Never ran up those steps once, though.
I walked gently, but wrestling is inherently dramatic, and it was just something I thought would be really cool to see, and also it's something novel. Like wrestling, a lot of the time gets a lot of crap for being, carny or whatever. And wrestlers are some of the toughest guys that have ever existed.
And amazing actual actors as well.
Well, yeah, because they are actors.
Yes.
Like that's their wrestling is half acting, half athletics, and we thought that it would be a good pairing. Now we had no idea if anyone would bite, but we thought it would be so much better than also it was something that I could get the two protagonists in at the same time.
Yeah.
Where boxing or other things, you either got to have a bigger team or it's a single person event. And we thought wrestling, do the no tag team.
Yeah, and also I also looked at it from the timeline of where this film takes place technically was 1998, 1999. And then it jumps into now, but the if you remember 98, 99, everybody, it was wrestling. That's when it blew up, and no one was ashamed to be a wrestling fan. So wrestling was kind of a center point then, and even now. So it's, I don't know, it just, reading it how it went, it just brought me back to how, because I was that age at that time, and it just, the way he wrote it, it felt like I was reading my own past life like when I was younger. So I'm just sitting there going like, wow, this is like really good, and it kind of hits home a lot here. And what better way to do that and then have that climactic ending be, something that they all kind of also grew up on too. So there's a lot of elements involved in that. So
I think as a whole, like getting on a soapbox here, but like professional wrestling is very like underrated as like a form of dramatic entertainment. Dare I say? Because wrestling ultimately is whatever it is you want it to be as a creator, and like we run this whole gamut of folks. I mean, you said you're from Philly, so you guys like in house have like had all the insanity of wrestling, whether it's come from, I mean, it's Philly's the home of ECW.
I was a local kid at ECW. I went to ECW as a kid every time they were airing for about 3 years. I was obsessed with ECW.
Yeah, and Sam, who plays Josh, Christian was there. Sam was wrestling in ECW briefly. And, I grew up on it too. And, like, we've always been, like, the epicenter of a lot of fight-oriented sports, whether it was boxing, wrestling, a little bit of the MMA. But, like, we have wrestling gyms. Like, we did our rehearsals and planning our choreography in a place called the Dojo, in Philly. So like, it's kind of in our, in our town that it again, like you said it perfectly. Wrestling is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You have like the comedy. There's always the, the Hornswoggle, the John Cena, you can't see me. But there's been some storylines, and it's usually not necessarily always the WWE, but like AEW, ECW had some really amazing, dramatic storylines that played out over years.
Yeah, because you have like sports entertainment, and then you have professional wrestling. I always kind of put the two on, and I'm like, sometimes I just want to watch some wrestling. Sometimes I want to be entertained more with the storylines. I'm up for a male soap opera, should give it to me.
And then sometimes you want Doink the Clown.
I never wanted Doink the Clown.
Nobody wanted Doink the Clown.
Not even the evil Matt Bourne version.
See, that's the thing. I hated clowns when I was a kid because I saw it when I was like 5. So like I was like petrified of clowns. So when they brought him out, I was like, oh, it looks like I'm done with wrestling for a while. I don't want to see this damn clown. But he grew on me at the end. I like Dink. Dink was cool because I knew I could beat up Dink. Maybe
there you go.
Maybe.
I mean, and we combine the two, and we like people forget that Doink had a very brief ECW run.
Yes,
he
did.
They chanted "Kill the Clown" in his first appearance and got destroyed by 911.
Yep.
And then from there, like it got really cool. It's a shame that Matt Bourne had his issues. So for the folks that aren't familiar with this, he kind of was rocking like this serial killer vibe of like, and he was referred to himself as Born Again because he's now Matt Born Again, and he would like wear half the Doink makeup and like go out and like actually have really good matches because he was a really good professional wrestler. It's just that he had his demons, and so his run only lasted a couple months out there. But like,
I don't think I was. I wasn't watching it. I wasn't going to the arena when he was there. But I did. I wish I could find it. I did have a picture with me and my buddy on 911's shoulders because I was a little guy, and he's like doing his thing. We're like, like I met every. My friend's sister was one of the, at times, a fake referee. A fake medic. So like they would pay like, hey, here's $20 or $30. We're gonna have someone look like they broke their neck. You got to put them on the stretcher, and because every week someone got put on a stretcher on that show. It's like and then we'd be like chilling in the back because we're like, oh okay, and like just hang out in the locker room. I met stunning Steve Austin when I was a kid. I was like, I didn't know, I was like, oh okay, and then these guys start blowing up more, and you're like, oh my god, I know him. Lionheart, Chris Jericho, Public Enemy. The Pitbulls, like all those guys, I met all of them. And it was just like so cool. Mick Foley. So like I was just like, oh, this is awesome. I'm just like, and I was just happy that luckily I had a friend who had it in. But so like wrestling's always been a big part of my life growing up, ever since I can remember. And so just being a part of this whole thing has just been really awesome. And I actually get to, because I'm a big big, strong, 5'7", 130-pound guy. So it's, but to actually get in the ring and actually do something I always kind of wanted to do, but never had the means and whereabouts of how to do it. So it was just fun to actually get in there with these other professional athletes, and they actually helped us create this match too. And it was just awesome because the big thing about what people won't realize, one thing I will stress on every podcast I'm in is that the filming of that wrestling scene, that was live. Like everything was pretty much filmed live. So like we had some cut scenes in between that, but like all the hard shots and wide shots and everything, that's during a live audience. So if we messed up, that was it. That was
just like wrestling.
Like, there's no, there is no take two on that. So, and that was pretty intense. So.
Yeah, I had heartburn for like 3 weeks before that fucking filming.
I was like, all right, please don't screw it up for him. Don't break a knee or something, or like, pull a Kevin Nash and tear my quad.
Just running to the ring.
Yeah, just running to the ring.
I would have tied you to some strings and puppeted you from the fucking
from
the ceiling.
I would have powered through it.
But I mean, you did a Hurricanrana on a 6'3" monster of a man with John. Yeah, so like that looks so cool.
I just love how they're like, do you think you can do, what do you want to do for that big spot? I was just like, I don't know, like a Hurricanrana, and they're like, have you ever done one? I was like, no. And I'm like, and I got up there and we nailed it on the first hit. Like for when we trained, I got up and I was like, I can't believe I just did that, and I got the bug, and I was like, I'll do it again. Let's do it again.
Retrained by Bob Orton Jr. because evidently that's one of his things. Like surprisingly enough, this old man was just like randomly be like, "We're doing Hurricanranas today," and everyone's like,
"What?"
He's never done a Hurricanrana.
Mm-hmm.
But like that being said, like, did you do any sort of like wrestling training to get into the role, or did you just kind of practice kind of how the scene was coming together?
I can't speak for Sam. But I know that, I mean, Sam, when Sam was there, Sam was on point. Like we were both focused. Like we were like, cause like at any, like it's a dance. If your partner isn't on the right footing, anything can happen. So I'd say the first couple times we went there, I was more focused on getting the beats down and getting the steps in and hitting, and also learning how to hit the ropes and hitting the mat and taking the bumps and doing all that stuff. I'd say about the second or third time, I was trying to get into the character while doing it, so that way I can just pivot as I move around. So I don't, because I knew it was going to be a live shot, so I have to remember, like, hey, if something hurts, I can't.
Well, and it was even more, and I guess it's even more stressful in the fact that, it is the finale is a 10, 12-minute sequence. Mm-hmm. And not that they had to hit every single move perfectly, but they had there was a certain story you had to tell with that. And there had to be certain pauses and certain things that happened during that fight. So it's not even just a match. It was even more. But we did, I think, 5 or 6 training sessions over the course of about 7 weeks. That's also where, Christian, Sam, myself, John, who plays Santa Crusher, Zoe, who plays herself, essentially, Charlie, and Chris, who play the Goons. We kind of came up with the overall routine together. Because also, I've watched things. Until then, I was never in a ring. So, like, you can't really... It'd be very presumptuous of me to say, this is how I want the wrestling scene. Let me not take any feedback. Mm-hmm. So we kind of developed the overall scene. Like, I'll be honest, I think in the script it said, we'll figure this out when we practice.
Yeah, actually it did.
Yeah, it said something like that, but like, here's the emotional beats.
Yes. And Sam, at that point, I really felt, came in with the overall, this is what I'm thinking. And then I was like, all right, well, this is what I know I can do, and this is the things I know I can't do, or these are things I would definitely need help with. And then we just kind of bounced all ideas off of that, and it just became fun. At that point, I think day one we were in there, it was like, oh, like kind of sort of like, I'm like, I think I can do a Hurricane Rana, you know. And then it was like, oh, do you like Sam would be like, oh, how about I flip him and then you catch on to me and that would be funny. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's just see if it looks dumb, we'll switch it up, you know. And then like the other two were in there and it was just hitting everything. And then he would come in and lean into the ropes, and go, hey, I have an idea, and we're like, oh, all right, let's go, you know.
I didn't want to get in the ring, just underneath the bottom row.
Well, to be fair, it's high, you know. That's a lot of jumping up. He didn't have steps. I tried to do a Brock Lesnar. That didn't work.
As someone who sat front row to way too many, like, yeah, I'm not. Nope. I am going to be like the biggest wuss. It's just like getting to the ring. If there's not ring steps, like it's just lift my leg up and hope I can. At my old age, hoping my leg even gets up that high. And
yeah, you just do the old man roll in. All right, let's brother. All right.
Just try to slide in like a snake.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like,
I would look like a tadpole, probably.
I can't say anything because like unfortunately like I'm bigger than a lot of indie guys, so like I can't like I'll look extra stupid like watching a little guy like come in and flip in and then like watching my 6'3" behind just kind of like.
Well, that was my joke to Sam too, because Sam came out doing his because Sam's a big guy, so he's doing the big walk, and I'm like, all right, I gotta show him up a little bit here. So I did a little Shawn Michaels dance, and a little moving around, you know, and then I went through the middle ropes and did a little foot on the bottom rope pop up, and I was like, you know, and you see it in there. I do a little like that was me going like, look at that, you know. So it was fun.
I mean, that's what you got to do because you got to have all that confidence in yourself as you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, but walking out there,
character.
Walking out there, I know he I like I said, I can't speak for him because he's not here, but I know he was focused and ready for that match. I don't know, like something like what, because there was matches before us. Like, yeah, there was a couple. Wasn't there?
No,
or they were testing, I think. Or
yeah.
That's right. They were going over stuff, and I don't know. I kind of hit this bug where I was like, I'm not gonna mess this up. Like, I got this in my head, and I was just, I don't know. Usually I'm a little, like, in the back, kind of like, you know, anxiety going over and things like that. But that time, through all filming, I was just zoned in on it. And I think it definitely had to do with the training and all that on top of it. But then you get to do the romantic scenes. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to suck at this. You know? I'm like, I am not romantic whatsoever.
You were prepared to get the crap beaten out of you, but God forbid I make you feel a real emotion.
There's nothing here. It's a black heart. It's all withered and gone.
Well, and I think a lot of, like, I think what helped everyone from the acting perspective, so we got super lucky. So 3 Legacy Wrestling let us come and do the match at one of their events. So their crowd came a little bit early, and then we were the first match. I went out and did a weird, like, hoorah speech in the middle of the ring, which felt very unnatural to me.
Got me motivated.
But we got but the crowd was so loud. Yeah. Like, I was afraid that
you would have to add in noise.
That I'd have to add in noise, or people would just kind of be sitting there in the background, like. But they got so like they were so hardcore, and like I was like, all right, first round you hate these guys, second round you've changed your mind, now you hate Santa Crusher, and they sold it. So I think there was something about when you guys came out and you legitimately got booed.
Oh, I got hate like crazy. It was great. I loved it.
People were cursing at them, telling
popcorn. Was it?
Oh yeah, they threw stuff at them.
My kids were in the audience and they get to boo me. That was priceless. Now I love that. That was
good. My favorite shot is you almost at the ring and one of your kids looks over and you look at him for a second and he's just like, "You suck,"
and I was like, "Oh." Oh.
So I think that also it got you it got everyone kind of in the mood that it felt authentic, and I think once that was there, it was just about hitting the marks, and you guys hit the marks.
Yeah, we got to pull a Steve Austin, man. We walked in heels, walked out faces. It was great.
Brilliant. So you guys like even did it. Got to do it, and well, actually, this movie actually turned out well, which is no offense intended, rare for a wrestling film, because let's be realistic, wrestling and movies do not have the best history together.
Ready to Rumble's an Oscar-worthy. What are you talking?
So Oliver Platt is fine. So is Arquette, but I forget, like Scott West was the other guy.
Scott Conn.
Whatever.
James Caan's son.
Ah, okay. Well, then I'm not worried about
I'm a
him.
nerd.
He's
I'm a
got
nerd.
he's got his inheritance.
Yeah, he's good.
There you go.
But no, you're right. Not all of them are storied histories.
Mm-hmm.
But the wrestler, the second wrestler, I'll
Yeah.
preface that for the hardcore nerds out there who remember. I think it's the 73. I think it was 73 when it came out. But for their wrestling, their big wrestling scenes, they held that before. I believe CZW. You correct me if you guys know I'm wrong, or if not.
I don't know if it was CCW or not, but they do know they did do it.
They did it like as a part of like a pre-show.
Yeah, I don't know if
thing.
it was that or Ring of Honor. I don't.
Yeah, because the problem is with that time, like I can ballpark people who were wrestling, but the problem is they wrestled for both. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Necro Butcher was there. Well, Necro Butcher wrestled for both around
Yeah.
that time too. Like
Ron Simmons was there too. I think wasn't he? Wasn't he in that? I think Ron Simmons was in the back. Yeah, I think he was.
It was like in the back, and then then of course they had like the randos because like Ernest Miller was there, was there, and he hadn't been signed by anybody, and since like
he just shows up.
Forever. Yeah, like he's still entertaining. Like whatever.
Yeah,
no shade thrown when I say he just shows up. Like I'll watch a stick. Like he pops up every now and again. Mm-hmm. But like, so did that add like as a filmmaker and or actor, like whoever wants to answer first, did that add like any extra pressure, like that you weren't dealing basically in the soundstage environment, that you were dealing with real people in a I guess we'll call it a captive environment per se. Like it's not like you're just filming like street scenes where people are just wandering around. They can just leave whenever they want necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. So one of the people that run 3 Legacy Wrestling is Jesus Ricardo Rodriguez, former WWE guy.
Right.
I'll be honest. I 100% looked over halfway through the fight and just wanted that look of approval from him. And I got the nod. But yeah, I'll be honest. There was something very intimidating because they were all very sweet and very nice. And I think it helps that both John, Zoe, Charlie, and Chris are wrestle in 3 Legacy Wrestling, 3LW. Yep. So like we had insiders.
Yeah.
So it's not like we went and casted wrestlers outside of their sphere, and then we had all these wrestlers that worked for a different company type of deal. But I will say that we were backstage with all the wrestlers as they're like practicing their things, and I'm having like heart palpitations, and they're like, yeah, no, it'll be fine, man, it's fine. We do this every night.
Yeah. From an acting standpoint, like I said earlier, I had no worries about the match itself. I kind of like that pressure and the fact that like going in and the lights hit you. I don't know. I just have that. I guess I do have that heel mentality. So like I was like, come on, I want to feel this energy. And I once that was coming and going and getting in there, it was just fueling me to go. When it came to the other people there, they're artists too. So like, it was cool because we were sitting there talking to a lot of them that were just coming up. Number one, I can say about that promotion, every guy there was super polite, hands-on, like talking to all of us, like asking us like, oh, what are you kind of doing? And I remember I told someone, like, yeah, I'm going to be doing a Hurricanrana and stuff. He's like, how many times did you do that? I'm like, I think like 5. And he was like, well, just to let you know when you go and I'm like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do that. You could have been like, that's great, kid. Get the out of here. You know what I mean? And I was like, everyone there, super polite, really invested in it. And when it was done, we got a lot of pats on the back saying like that was actually pretty good for you guys just kind of going in there for only a few times training. And well, I mean, at least for me and Sam, it's been a while. He's old, so
Yeah, no. He's a stunt actor. He's been in a lot of stunt oriented films. He was like a feature fighter in The Last Airbender. He was one of the alpha zombies in not Land of the Dead.
The last one.
The one in Vegas.
No, it wasn't that good.
Army of the Dead?
Yeah, Army of the Dead.
Yeah. Land of the Dead, I know that one. That's Leguizamo.
That wasn't that good either.
No, it wasn't, but whatever.
I love zombie movies, but they just,
they can't all be the Dawn of the Dead.
He's been a lot of different
remake.
stuff, and he was, he was.
But it's been a bit since hard action, and Sam's also the one that took he got into the ring, and of course you can practice all you want, but adrenaline, you know, crowd energy, he that first punch actually connected. So he was concussed the 90% of the fight.
And we had to like he would get there when you watch the film. There's scenes where you'll see him in the ring and we're in the corner, and you see me sitting there. I'm literally telling him like what we got to do next because he was just like, yeah, and he's like, where are we at? I'm like, yeah, we're here, we're going here, and then he would lock up with John. John would know. John would coach him through it, and then so everyone's pinpulling, and he fully concussed. Like I was pretty much. I'm not even lying.
He broke his orbital bones
and everything. So like he hit and did not miss once. He made every spot. I was like I wouldn't be able to do that.
No, for insurance purposes, I had no idea. I was running around giving cues. I just kept looking in the ring and figuring it like, oh, no, they hit that mark. Mm-hmm. Now let me run on the other side of this curtain to go cue the light and, this and that. And
we got it.
It wasn't until it came out and he's sitting at a chair and I thought people were congratulating him, but it was actually the doctor.
Yeah.
And I went back. I'm like, oh, man, you did so great. He's like, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, looking at you like,
pull back. but
that looks real.
Yeah. To be fair, there's parts of it like when he's getting the hammer strike that I watched that I'm just like, oh my God, because I know that like he's like, yeah, my legs were giving out. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
I was impressed. I make fun of him a lot, but if it comes to that stuff, I'm like, nope. I'm like, that was stellar.
And then he went to Disney World the next day.
And he had to go and he legit had to go to Disney World the next day. So I'm sure he got to see a lot of stuff.
His kids made him wear like the thickest, darkest glasses too.
He looks like that like hungover dad who didn't want to go to Disneyland. He's like, oh God.
He kind of sounds like it too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does sound like it. Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. He could have been like one of those guys that just been like, I fell into a doorknob. If anyone like cares, like, he wouldn't even cover it up. He would just have the eye open. Yeah. Like, I worked with a guy who dabbled in MMA just as a hobby. It's how he just dealt with stress. Is he just went and punched people and threw them to the ground, and like he would come in with a shiner. And which was always great because we were healthcare workers. So he was walking in with a shiner, but we'd be like, dude, like your eye, are you okay? Just actually with actual caring, and he'd just be like, I fell into a doorknob.
Ethel and 6B.
He pulled some Fight Club there. I fell down some steps.
Yeah.
I fell down some steps.
Like and like it was always great because like he was bigger than me, and so like for once I was like the second biggest guy running around, which is actually kind of terrifying in healthcare when you think about those things because I'm bigger. I was bigger than the people I was taking care of, but those are whole other stories. That's a whole different podcast. But
that just makes me think like mental ward guards in every movie, like the 6'3", 6'5" guys. Come on, Charlie, take your meds.
I mean, I used to, as part of like getting off topic, but like as I used to actually teach the aggression management module, or as like one of the handful of people, and we talk about like the history and stuff, and like I would incorporate like the stories I'd heard from my peers because I had worked with coworkers that had been there for 20 years or so, nearly since like that transferred into this assisted living facility. And it was for people with intellectual disabilities. So further clarification on this, it wasn't just like nursing home or whatever. So like, I mean, we did occasionally have to deal with some rough stuff, but like they used to legit, like, because healthcare, especially like what we were doing was ultimately like CNA work as a whole.
Okay.
For the most part, like it was mostly like female driven, and so like there'd only be like a handful of males in the building, so they actually used to have like an actual on-call like system throughout the building where like they would go over the PA and say all male staff, 5th floor elevator. And so like if you were a dude in that building, it didn't matter like if you were the janitor or what, like if you were a dude, you had to go up to the 5th floor. And like now we teach that because like one, like we're not gang rushing anybody anymore. Like we are definitely not doing that. And like two, like we also now think of like the psychological manipulation tactics that people use in general.
Yeah.
And you just taught everyone that the women are weak and we can push over the women until they make that call up ahead. And like we wanted to empower our staff. Not that we ever, like, most of them would never even like lay a hand on anyone in self-defense, but we wanted everyone to have that ability to do so if they needed to, because like people are strong, and or people just, when they get mad, Hulk get strong, like but it's a whole nother like crazy world. And that's a whole nother like fun fact is like I actually like blew a guy like away. He made me tell a couple stories, and then like he laughed so hard he had to like leave his little podcast set up because he was gonna blow the mic, because I explained a story where I got urinated on, and the guy who did it like had no clue that he was doing it. Like his body was failing him, and so like I took a moment to be like, because I heard water running, and like there should be no water running in a person's room, and I was like, when I saw what happened, and then he's like, why did you scream? And I got peed on, and then he, in all seriousness, he asked, by who?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Like, and so I had to like.
I'm just picturing like in a movie, like you're just sitting there like this, and it's still peeing on you though, and you're like.
I mean, practically, like he was bedridden, like he obviously had no control. But I'm standing next to him, like I was helping, like change him. So you had to practice. You got to roll him a certain way to take the chucks and things out from underneath him, and like that also stimulates the movement, stimulates the bladder, and he just was letting go. And I forgot to like what I call put up the pee guard, which is like literally anything to block, you getting peed on, and just. He let it fly, and then just like didn't realize he was doing it, and legitimately asked me like, who was peeing on me? I'm like, there are 3 people in this room, and one of us is not wearing pants.
Like R. Kelly, who do you think? Who do you think?
Who do you? Yeah, like one of us is not wearing pants. Who do you think's peeing on me? And then like it kind of like went off on his head, like, oh, I'm sorry.
That would be me.
And like, it was fine, because like there was no malice intended for it. So like, what am I going to do about it? Like,
you gotta laugh about it.
Yeah. And so like we finished the dealio. I told the other staff present, like, hey, I don't have spare pants here, so I'm going to go probably about 15 minutes, going to literally run home, switch my pants, and I'll be back. And it's like, so
you don't want to be Mr. P Pants for the rest of the shift.
Yeah, especially in that profession. And I like that you're telling this. Like, you need gallows humor. You gotta have gallows humor with that stuff. Yeah. Or you're just gonna be like, oh. This sucks.
Oh, and if you want to add a little extra layer to this onion, like I was management too. So like I was wearing like dress clothes or business casual, like wearing khakis, and like I would be like, if anyone like. If a stranger came into the house, like I would be the face to greet them, with my pea leg.
And khakis show everything.
Yeah. Like there was no hiding, like this like wet streak from my knee to ankle on one side. So
I would be pissed.
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't thrilled, but like, what was I going to do about it again? Like, it wasn't like he did it on purpose, and even if he did, like, I'm not allowed to hit him. So yeah. And he was like an 80-year-old man. Like, what was I going to get out of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, then you're the guy who hit the 80-year-old.
That'd be like someone who beat up an 80-year-old man. You go like, I got in a fight with this 80-year-old guy. You'd be like, why? Why would you do that?
For fun, I guess.
Yeah, there's nowhere that you come out the hero of that story.
Yeah. So I guess it's a bunch of times. You just laugh at it because. It's a cool story to tell. Like I got so many little like horrible, like I never realized like how weird my job was until like I was like it was like 6 years in, and I dealt with we were actually at a funeral, and the person who's a funeral we were attending, it was a resident. She was very, very mentally ill, and we were just telling stories about like basically all this stuff that's like kind of horrible when you stop and think about it. Like, and we're just like, yeah, that's that person. It was great being called a cocksucking bitch whenever she changed her mind. Because that was her when she was in the throes of a manic mode of her mental illness. Everybody was a cocksucking bitch, and we just be like, oh, that was remember those?
I think that was my mom. Remind me of my mama.
But we were just like telling these like objectively horrible stories and just being like, yeah, those are good old days, like,
Yeah.
you know, smiling and laughing. And I'm like watching her sister just kind of just go, like, I don't think she like realized like the stuff like we dealt with daily, even like within her own
Yeah.
family, just because.
Yeah, the only people that get the joke are the other people in the trenches.
Yeah, you know. It
Yeah,
was
and like that's so it's like we were like, yeah, these stories were, I mean, objectively horrible, but like that was just life, and like, you know, I wouldn't trade that period of my life
Exactly.
in for anything, because
Yeah.
I got cool stories. I you know, I've had lifelong friends out of the dealio, like, and just, you know, the warm fuzzy feeling of being able to, you know, give back in a certainly underpaid financially way.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
But you know, but now we're making it about me and my crazy stories when we should be talking about your crazy stories. But at least hopefully you're entertained by my
Yeah.
my weird shit.
To piggyback off of that, what you're saying though is like how you're talking about your stories and things that define you and what you know, like those are your stories. Like what a lot of stuff he wrote in there, like we known each other for 20 years, and a lot of the stories that were implemented in there were his life experiences. Some of mine was thrown in here and there, but like a lot of it's just like taking that dark stuff that happened in your life and make something out of it, either artistically, comically, or things like that. Like I was telling him, like I have ideas that just pop in my head and like from past experiences. I remember my grandfather passed away, and my mom and him did not. They were Irish Catholic, so they were married, but you know you can't get divorced because that's just horrible. You're not allowed to do that. So they just dealt with it. So there was lots of fist fights and car arguments and stuff like that. And then he passed on, and then like a year later, we go to the grave. And we're just sitting there. My dad's there, and he's like, "Oh man, he was such a great dad." And she's right there with him. She was like, "Yeah, he was, but not a good husband." And I'm like, "He is rotting right now in the grave, and you still got to just give one last shot." You know what I mean? And it's fun. We laughed. You know what I mean? It's funny, you know. And like I really resonate off of some of the stuff that he took, especially in a very delicate, dramatic way, and like taking hard times and flipping it into something that's at the time can be like that gallows humor, but also like beautiful and dramatic all in the same time. And like that was the first thing he ever wrote. And that to me spoke volumes to me, because I've been doing stuff like this for a long time, like writing story and things like that. And then when he was like, I'm writing the script, and I was like, all right, well, let me know. And as he walked out, I'm like, that's going to suck, you know? And then like he gives it to me and I'm reading it and I'm like, son of a bitch, this is actually really good, you know? And I couldn't put it down. It was a really good rough draft. And then it blossomed into what he did. And that just speaks volumes for him. And I don't like giving him praise a lot. So,
No, this feels weird, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I know, and I don't expect any back. Seriously. Seriously. I just, but that's something I'm proud of him, because he took a nothing and made it into something. And the team that helped all around with that, but like he started to go ahead to make this happen. So.
Yeah, well, and a lot of them are the stories, like, or at least the inspiration is like that dark humor is my jam, and like, you know, whether it is you know, a Beetlejuice joke at a gravesite during a funeral, or you know.
I like how you let me throw in my Night of the Living Dead one.
Oh, no. Well, that's fantastic.
I was happy about that.
As long as you said my Pet Cemetery line correctly,
Yes.
I was going to let you throw in a Night of the Living Dead joke inside of the cemetery.
Inside of a funeral.
Yeah. So, like, but that's the thing. Like, not to go sad, but, you know, like, half my text messages with my siblings, both my parents passed away year and change ago, within like 4 months of each other. So we were in the middle of production, and this really was therapy plus my normal therapy. But half of them are orphan jokes. Yeah. Like, that's what we trade back and forth. For Christmas, I want to get them, this is my orphan t-shirt. So like, but that's how you get through shitty things. Like, life sucks a lot of the time, and if it, you know, whether it, your job was not what I'd call easy, you know, but like those are the things that are funny. Like, I think that's what people are going to relate to.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the films I see, especially that deal with tough subjects, it's like it's either sad or it's goofy.
Yeah.
And that's not normally how it goes.
Yeah. People can relate to hard times, because most do, So
Very few of us were Nepo baby billionaires.
no,
Or at least I've never known any.
no, I haven't, unfortunately.
Well, and like in terms of, I mean, we'll call it just entertainment in general. Like you have to find a balance. Like you get like no movie is 100% laughs. There's something in there, whether to like tug on the heartstrings, whether it's a romantic subplot or an underdog story or something of the like, because you can't appreciate those highs without a low,
Yeah.
and and vice versa. And like as you put it, like life sucks, but like life doesn't hopefully doesn't suck 100% of the time, because
No.
you have either like some form of escapism, or you have you got you got friends, you got
And that's the heart of that.
something.
That's the heart of that. And it's also just not even just on screen, like what you're seeing, it's behind the scenes, because most of the people that were filming this stuff, or people that were in the film, we were all friends for many, many years. And like and there was a lot of give and takes, and also lessons that needed to be learned while going through it. Because like he said, this is his first time doing this. It's my first time really acting in something of this magnitude.
We were such the novices compared to the rest of the cast.
Well, I mean, I made some blunders, continuity wise. I kind of maybe screwed up a little bit on the fingers,
Oh God!
Like I was sitting there with my girlfriend. She's a really great tattoo artist, and I was just at the house one day, and she's like, "Oh, we should just tattoo." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." She's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Oh," she's like, "What about the knuckles? Do a little red rum." So I have like red rum on my knuckles. So I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And we're just going to town doing. I'm like, "Yeah, just don't hurt." Actually, it's pretty. I thought it was going to hurt, She's like, "How's the film going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's going really good, We have a couple more scenes left." And then she was just like, "Is that going to affect the movie?" And I literally went, "Oh my God. Oh my God." So like, it was just, so then the makeup artist had to go with me every day, and I'm holding my hands out, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I was just so excited to get my knuckles done. I'm sorry.
And
you're getting cavilled.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty much. I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I was just too excited."
He called me, and I'm sitting there trying to breathe. I'm like, "It's fine, Christian. It's fine."
I was like, "My bad."
But I hung up that phone, and I was like, "That stupid asshole tattoos his knuckles when we have a month of filming left."
I'm not going to turn down free.
Guess who's wearing gloves all the time?
Yeah, so
Ryan wears gloves all the time.
You see a shot, the makeup artist was not there that day, and I'm like, "Well, let's put these cut-off finger gloves on in the middle of the summer. It's fine."
Yeah, we'll look like a hobo for fun.
Yeah,
So mad at you.
I guess Cavill wasn't the best response because they, use bad CGI, but it'd be Chris Evans during the shawarma scene where he was growing out his facial. They called them back for that after they were done, so he's grown out his facial hair for it. Was it Knives Out or something of the like?
Yeah.
And so he had part prosthesis, and then the rest of the time he's just doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's like, "Oh my God, yes." Yeah, but I think I made it up with the wrestling.
I'll
step it up, and I'll.
It's fine. Well. Our friendship is intact.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, well, yeah, and ironically, me and Christian were probably the biggest novices. We have a couple friends that were also on the crew, but we were shocked, or I know I was, when I put out the backstage ad, and it got 8,000 applicants, and like I've been on on a stage and screen, and I'm like,
mm-hmm.
I've done none of these things. You want to come be in my movie?
Yeah.
And we got, again, as I was saying, like Sam has actual credits.
Mm-hmm.
Kat has a master's in opera and theater. Jacob and Russell and Carly, like real professional actors. And our camera, Todd brought, these cameras that I couldn't even afford to rent. Manny pulled up with a creepy van, but nonetheless, the van was full of lights, thankfully, instead of children.
Mm-hmm. And he knew what he was doing with the lighting and So.
Yeah, so we got so lucky that we had such an amazing cast and crew.
Margot.
Oh, Margot was first AD, and they were like professional and like,
Margot kept me in check.
oh yeah,
And I needed
they kicked
that.
your ass
Oh,
whenever
I
I
loved
needed
it.
it.
I loved it. I needed that, because I was like, yeah, I know how to, I can act and I can play certain spots, but then there's things where you're like, all right, but now I'm going up against like, not going up against, but I'm playing off of four different people that have like a resume that I'm like, well, what did you do? And they're saying like, oh, I did this, I did like, what did you do? I was like, I made a home movie when I was 9, and my mom liked it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know, and they would, I would call it's like kind of what I do when I do, because I do like a lot of photography stuff and film things too. But like I call it like when I have to talk to someone, I don't want to make them feel like shit. I call it you praise them, you break them, and you send them off and praise them again. So you're going, hey, just want to let you know that's going great. I love what you did there. One little thing, you sucked here, 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 and like, but also out of that, all of it's coming together because you're great. And they're like, yeah, I am great. I know, yeah. And then you send them off, and you go, all right, slap them in the ass, and there they go. And they did that for me, and I need it. And I was like, so I would go in, and it just helped. It helped a lot. So she did a great job with everything she was doing on that. With like all 50 roles she was doing.
But yeah, so long story short, we're schlubs and we got super lucky.
No, no, you're not. But no, he, like I said, though, it's like, it's a script. I read the script and I was like, this is a good story. And I knew if he sent it out there that it would get some, I didn't expect that much traction, but I was like, it'll get traction. You'll get people, I knew that. And then I just was not expecting that amount so quick. And then the ball to start rolling. I'm like, oh, we're actually doing this. Okay, let's go. But it was couldn't be more proud of him. So
No, it looks amazing. Like pulling back the curtain, full disclosure. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll get someone who like reaches out to me wanting to promote something, and like usually like I side eye it and go like, okay, what is this? And then like I go look, and like they either like don't have anything, or like they are woefully like not right. Like, not that I'm playing like I'm I'm a big timer or whatever thing, but like I had like a 3-time TED Talk Nigerian veterinarian refugee like reach out, and I'm like,
nice. That is a long occupational name.
yeah, and like he was legit, totally
Yeah.
legit, but I'm like, I hate to be like the guy who went like, yeah, you like, I don't think your niche and my niche
Yeah, you're gonna match,
are compatible. And like he's
Yeah.
appreciative of like, hey, thank you for your honesty. Like, not gonna lie, I'm not sure how my people overlooked some of this stuff, and I'm like, that's cool. But like, coming in and like when you reached out, like checked out the Instagram and then like looked up the other stuff, I'm like, oh, this is this is interesting. And then like, oh wow, FFTG award nominee, or winner honorable mention of, as I'm reading off the thing, a list of accomplishments that have already come by. I'm like, this is sweet. Like I am going to have to give this one, like, definitely give this one the light of day. And like, even like after we're done with this interview, check it out now that it's streaming on Amazon. Because I think when we first started, you guys, like, it hadn't come out streaming yet.
Not yet. I think when I first messaged you, I think it was, we had signed on with our distributor, but we got we were not expecting to get on. We knew who we were getting pitched to, but Amazon's like, yeah, we'll try. Agreed to it. We're like, oh, awesome. Amazon licensed it. We're gonna be on there. But they're like, oh, yeah, we'll try to get it up before Christmas. And we're like, oh, all right, well, it is what it is. At least it's getting licensed. And then 2 days later, my distributor gives me a call, and he's like, yeah, so you got all that, the announcement on the promotional stuff done, right? I'm like, no, of course not. Why would I have that done? He's like, you went live on Amazon at 8 a.m.? I'm like, wait. So 2 hours ago, we went live. Crap. I need to get to my computer. So yeah, no, we got surprised that just Amazon put it up really, really quick. So yeah, we've only been up since Monday, and it's been a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, like, because when we were talking, you kind of just like you definitely imply like, oh, it's going to be January, so like we're going to try to get you on and beat the rush just before it pops up, and then like I'm doing my last second research thing and like, oh, it dropped. Wow, I could have like actually watched the movie, maybe asked like better questions instead of relying on two trailers and batches of reels and various synopses or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like, oh well,
Yeah, well,
I
you
guess
were just as surprised as we were. I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest, because at no point did I think that that was going to happen that quickly.
Yeah, I remember your text message. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, all right.
I was having a mini panic attack
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I literally, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to make some kind of announcement video. I got to get all the things in place, like figure out what ads I'm gonna do, and it was a shit. It's been a shit show week, and but in the best way
Yeah.
possible.
right.
Heck yeah.
And so, how does that like feel as guys that view yourselves as kind of like small time, just to like all of a sudden, bam, like we're on Amazon Prime now and got other distribution lined up here in the near future.
It's super surreal. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't. There were moments where went past my imposter syndrome, and like seeing the first cut or like the cast and crew premiere, like it felt real. I felt accomplished. I felt proud of myself. But like on a given normal day, I'm like, what is going on? And that day was just weird because like my wife, who was the most amazing person and my biggest supporter, uh, instantly went and bought it. And I'm looking at my TV in my living room, and it's like, it's the picture, and it's the poster, and it's the synopsis, and it's purchased. And I'm just like, dude, what just happened? Like this,
Mm-hmm.
because it was 2 years in the
Yeah.
making. Because to make it work, our comparable budget was something like, if I had to pay for everything, it was like 2.5 to $3 million. We made it for under $75,000 total, and which one was amazing by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But two, to now see it up there and people that I don't know buying it. It's one thing when my
Yeah.
friends, family, they're wonderful. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing at the premiere to get nice compliments from the friends and family of the cast and crew. It's completely surreal for random people to be like, "Oh yeah,
I want to check this out.
yeah, I want to check this out," or get like a random Instagram message from someone. I have no, from I got someone from Australia that sent me a message like, you know,
Crikey! No, I'm sorry, I had to.
yeah, let's quickly,
I had to.
stereotype them.
Yeah.
No, but like a dude from Australia, or like, uh, you know, someone I don't know Spanish, but sent me a message in Spanish on Instagram that I put in Google Translate. That,
I do
but
that.
like telling me that they really like the movie, or that
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, that, like I cried here. Laughter, I make people laugh a fair amount, but like to make people cry, such a surreal experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's crazy, and I don't even know how to feel about it sometimes.
I mean, this is probably. I'm not. I mean, there's worse times to ask about that, but I'm like, it's if it's still like fresh, like you're probably still
It's
pretty.
still weird.
It's
It's
still you're
still
still kind of like half
super
numb
weird.
to it.
No, I'm not used to it at all, and the fact that we're starting to get like, so we were doing amateur reviews, and we have some Rotten Tomatoes certified people that are going to be reviewing it that we're waiting for it to drop. But like to get just random people that bought it,
Yeah.
that's the weirdest thing to me, because like it's not somebody I asked like, hey, you want to watch my movie? Like this is a person that bought, just went like, huh,
Saw a trailer. Or
that
saw
doesn't look
shit.
terrible.
Yeah.
I'll hit that.
Mm-hmm.
And to like it, it's the weirdest but best compliment.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to like say to that because it's. I mean, literally, like that's a Hollywood movie in and of itself. Just small timers, making it in various forms, and the fact that you are, these nominations and awards are starting to pile in. You now have Amazon, and Lord only knows how many people wherever, are going to see that. Like, it's just like, even
And
as a small creator myself, like, that just blows my mind.
yeah,
Just
and
for you guys.
I will always reiterate this because I'm throwing this all on him. I used to be about me. I'm more like now, like, no, I want, other people. But I want to reiterate, this is his very first time doing any of this. Any of this.
Not like starting a new thing at 40.
Yeah. And it's very impressive. Like, and I've been around people that have done this type of stuff or in some shape, form in the art world. It is hard. It is so hard to get your name. It is a cutthroat kind of, if you want to be that way, it's a cutthroat business, or it's just, you're just hope. What I always say, when my friends are sitting there like talking like, oh, I'm going to be an actor one day, and I'm like, and they just don't do much with it. And I'm like, hey, you're that guy that sits at the diner with your book, hoping that someone's going to walk by and go, oh, a starving artist kid for my new film, The Starving Artist Kid. And it don't happen like that. You have to put the work in. And he put the work in. And it's just, and I love seeing that with not just people, but, my friends that put in that heart and that drive to push themselves past their own limits to do something that they just creatively want to do, and just see it happen and to see it grow and manifest into what it became, and see how happy he is about that. It's just that's all I need. That makes me proud of the film. I mean, I could sit there and point out all my cool stuff, but I don't care. I just see him happy about it, and it just makes me happy for him. So I was just proud to be a part of it with him and go on the ride.
That's fair. I'll take your percentage back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks. I had to throw it in there.
I don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky and get like a Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi kind of deal out of it too. So you can just.
I just want an action figure. I just want an action figure. No.
I mean, in this day and age, that's easy to come by.
I know. I just have to call up Matt Cardona. Like, give me an action figure, man.
I've seen you. That you're more of a Todd McFarlane.
Say Sin Bodhi, professional wrestler. He does like LJN figures. Got one for my friend.
Nice.
Got one for my friend for Birthmas, because he's a near Christmas baby. Okay. So like he's got his own little like LJN figure like sitting up on his mantle. Costs more than I usually do, but like, how often do you get to say you gave your best friend like his own an action figure of himself?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually a smart idea gift.
Yeah. As another Birthmas person, tell him happy birthday for me, and wrap it in not Christmas paper. I'm January 2nd, and
I'm November 30th, so I usually get mine are mixed in sometimes.
Yeah, you got a 50-50 if you get a birthday.
Depending on it, how the parents' workload went that month, I guess you were saying.
Yeah, no. Mine was always, here's the extra Christmas paper. Do you want your gift now or at Christmas, or do you want to wait till your birthday? Now it's like, I'll just die on my birthday. I understand. Everyone's already hungover from New Year's. Yeah. Nobody wants to. Like, you could clearly see my uncles in the background of every birthday party I've ever had when I was a kid. Just so hungover. Don't want to be there.
Did you at least get the cake?
90% of the time. Right. My mom was good about that.
Okay.
I just remember the uncles being the most miserable people at every birthday party because my aunts would drag them, but they didn't want to be there.
No.
I think half of them still don't like me because of it.
It's Pavlovian training of misery whenever
they
been
see
around.
me and they feel hungover.
So PTSD has some.
There we go.
I'm just glad to have an effect on people.
Well, you transfer that to the film and boom. License to print money, right? That maybe that's the secret. That's the secret of Misfits.
There we go.
That's horrible, really. It's kind of like that, actually. It's in the negativity.
I can see it.
But joking aside, I promised, like, at the 45-minute mark, I try to wind things down, and I failed. I failed miserably. But we started really lifting things up. I felt like around 45. Not that the rest of the conversation was bad by any stretch of the imagination. All of a sudden, we're like, wow, this is real in like 45 45 minutes in. But so I'll let you guys, we'll wind thing down, let you guys have the rest of your evening. So where can we find, well, all of your special social media, or find movies or projects of whatever you guys are working on now?
So our handles on Instagram and TikTok, Misfits the Film. There's misfitsthefilm.com. Facebook, if you're one of these old people that we have mentioned, is Gallows Grin Productions. And you can find the film on Amazon for rent or buy. Coming soon in the next month and a half to more streaming platforms and channels.
I will try to do my darndest as a quasi-professional podcast host to throw those links in the descriptor. I've gotten a lot better about that over the years. used to be a thing where it was like, here, put over your socials. I'm not going to have a link to them. I'm like, whatever.
Of course, I guess at their place.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because like I when I've looked at the podcast, like you still have to copy and paste the link anyway because the link just doesn't magically work on Apple and Spotify. So I guess it's still not that easy, even if I put it right there for everyone. But at least you could copy and paste if you really want to. But digressing. But thank you guys for coming on, especially in the case of this recording, like being pert near and exclusive with the news of Amazon coming out, even though we're going to pop this out just slightly after Christmas. But like, I like it when I get to pretend to break news and all that sort of good stuff.
I mean, technically you're breaking the news.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Hey, even better. I can, pat myself on the back. Accidentally just timing things right, even though we've had this date in the calendar for a couple of weeks now. And all that.
Yeah, you are the first podcast of the new era.
There we go. So, but hopefully, all the success for the film. Hopefully, everything comes up Millhouse. The old Simpsons adage goes. But like, it looks great. Like, as I said, I haven't seen it yet because I just found out like within like the last 24 hours it was already up on streaming, so I hadn't done that due diligence. But like, it's on my watch list now, and like, awesome. But I'm hoping for the best for you guys. So thank you guys for coming on to talk about wrestling and the movie and everything else.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us. So.
The Confusion Wrestling Podcast is a weekly podcast that is written and performed by Rob Kammer and hosted by Spotify for podcasters. The background music for this section is Ruined by Day, performed by Alan Schroeder. If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to help support, please like, subscribe, and tell your friends, family, and enemies. Leaving a review is helpful as well, because word-of-mouth advertisement is very important for us small podcasts. My social media links can be found in the description, but Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky are at The Nova of Cass. That's TheNovaofCass, and Facebook is MLW Confusion, all one word. If you'd like to support monetarily and help upgrade my equipment, please check out my virtual tip jar at ko-fi.com/Casanova, or if you prefer more bang for your buck, go to patreon.com/Casanova, that's CASSONOVA, where for as little as $2, backers get access to the podcast early and without those pesky ads, plus other exclusive content. So join the crew that is headed up by Keith Wynn, Alan Schroeder, Chris Zach, and Elenia, and check it out. You can also find t-shirts, coffee mugs, and other merch at the Confusion Podcast store on Teespring. Also, be sure to check out the affiliate links in the description below. For business inquiries such as ads, sponsorships, and etc., please email rzkamer, Kamerer, at comcast.net. Thank you all for listening.